Few technical issues, but I am now here. Yay! So I'm here doing a quick 10-minute live. So I'm Miff. I'm one of the directors and leaders here with the Diamonds, if you don't know me. And I am doing a personal development kind of spiritual course at the moment. It's a 12-month course on the power of intuition and sacred leadership and just, going beyond, into more energy realms, which I'm quite fascinated by. And this is part of my assessment, is to do a live, and it's on the topic is the science of intuition, and I've chosen the heart, the power of the heart. So welcome to everybody who is jumping on, and thank you so much for being here, and welcome to everyone who will listen back. I'll be really interested in any feedback, comments, things that you found interesting. And it's also importantly, is like what I'm sharing is like, how can you use this in your business and in your day-to-day lives? So the heart. And I'm recording this on my phone because I couldn't work out, so for my assessment, how I could record this through Zoom because there was time delay. So anyway, the joys of technology. So what do we know about the heart? So we know intuitively about what are the qualities of the heart. We know from our school education that the heart is part of the circulation system, that it pumps blood around our bodies, but that's kind of all we're really taught. There is so much more that's been discovered in the last 30 years on the science and the power of the heart. So the purpose of this ideally 10-minute live is to educate you on the power and science of the heart. So by better understanding its role and incredible capability, we can lead even more fulfilling and dynamic lives. We can begin to understand our true deep nature, which is deep inside ourselves, and we can begin to empower ourselves on deeper levels. And when we are empowered and in tune with ourselves, we can empower and help others in so many ways. And our business, our Intimo businesses, are relationship businesses. Our aim is to develop the deepest relationships with our customers, our VIPs, our hostesses, so that we are creating, hi Renee darling, we are creating customers for life. And how deep can we go with those relationships? And it all starts with how willing, we are to go with kind of that relationship with ourselves. So the language of the heart is, no surprise, it's our intuition. So it's our sixth sense. It's an innate, every human being has access to our intuition, but unless it's a muscle that if we don't use, then it's used randomly, but it actually is something that we can learn to use on a much deeper level daily, several times a day. Like we can learn to switch it on quite quickly. At the end of this, I'm going to teach us a little technique. It's a focused discipline technique called heart congruence, and it's how we learn to tap into this heart intelligence, this intuition. So where I have got a lot of this information is from, there's an institute in Northern California that has been going for at least 20 years. It's called the Heart Maths Institute, and it is gathering information up on the power and science of the heart and how we can use it to connect more deeply with others on a personal level, on a professional level, but also how we can create global peace and global coherence. So it's a fascinating organization. I've also been reading lots of Joe Dispenza and Greg Braden, and my leader of this course that I'm doing is an amazing woman called Ricky Jane Adams. So she's got a book called Spiritually Fierce. So a lot of what I'm talking about also has come from her research. So to begin with, what do we know? Intuitively we do know about the heart. We know that it is our source of our intuition, our sixth sense. We know it's through the heart that we connect with others, that we do, it's our love and our connection with family, friends, and others. We know that the heart is a source of our wisdom. It's a source of our truth. And we know that if we don't listen for big choices in our life, if we don't listen to our heart, we will probably end up regretting the choices and decisions that we make. And in our mind, we can use our analytical mind to list pros and cons for big choices, but ultimately we need to listen, and the choices that empower us are ones where it's the heart that really does guide us. And of course, we need to learn how to have a better heart-brain connection. We know that the heart is the source of our true happiness. It's the heart of our authentic self, like who we really are. Like as we talk about often with our branding, who are we and what, we need to show to our customers and out into the world who our authentic selves. And there's only one of us, and it's through listening to our heart intelligence that we understand, and it's our soul's voice that we understand. And interestingly, it's through the heart that we get to communicate with the energy beyond our physical body. It's where we communicate with, do we call it God? Do we call it divine consciousness? Do we call it spirit? Do we call it the universe? But the heart is the portal to other realms. And if you've ever been to a healer or someone that's intuitive, they are using the heart portal to communicate information for you. So some interesting facts, like the heart begins to beat when we are a human embryo, the heart begins to beat at day 17. So that but the heart does not come from the DNA of the sperm and the egg. It's really fascinating. There's a group of cells that form in the womb about the time that the heart needs to develop. And the science doesn't know where these cells come from, which is quite fascinating. So these cells come in through the little kidney bean, they come in at the throat area and they descend down to where the primitive lung will start to form, and then it starts to beat. So that's a fascinating bit of information as to where the heart comes from. The heart has the largest electromagnetic field of any part of our body, and the brain second. But this electromagnetic field is the energy. If you look up electromagnetic field, there are some beautiful images of what this actually looks like. But it's 40 to 60 times larger than the field that the brain gives out. The heart radiates out, and it energetically affects our own moods, attitudes, feeling, but also the moods, feelings, attitudes of others. So it means that this atom level or quantum level, they're at the subatomic particles that ripple out from our heart as an energy. I mean, if we go down to the quantum level of our atoms that form in our cells, like most of it is energy and not matter, which is quite fascinating. And the energy of the heart and our electromagnetic fields permeates all our cells, and it actually has been tested to go out at least 2.5 meters, but that was the limit of the machine's testing. It could go way more. So we know that it's part of our heart energy is the vibration that your vibe attracts your tribe, we talk about, and it's coming from our heart. It was just discovered in 1991 that there's a cluster of cells, 40,000 cells that are brain-like cells, that the neurons or neurites that are the same cells that are in the brain. So it means that that the heart is actually part of our nervous system, our advanced nervous system, and it actually receives information and communicates to the brain. So it really is a complex system in our nervous system between the heart and the brain working together. We also know that it's part of the hormone system, that it's the heart that sends messages, chemical messages to the brain that picks up that if we're stressed or we've got a fight or flight mechanism that for the brain to produce the chemicals, and also if things are safe. And then also our emotions, our positive and negative emotions that we feel are being felt and communicated through the nervous system up to the brain. The brain, the heart's job is just 5% of pumping blood, and the rest is like the actual blood has its own propulsion. So it is so much more than we ever knew. There's a thing called the heart rate variability. So when we're feeling positive emotions of love, compassion, generosity, our heart rate has this beautiful sine curve up and down. And it's then when that rate is beautiful that we are healthy and our immune system is functioning to its best. When we're having negative emotions of frustration, anger, jealousy, judgment, the heart rate variability is much more jagged, and that's where we suppress our immune system and we get sick. So elevating our vibration levels to more positive feelings really makes us happier and healthier people. Now we know this intuitively, but it's interesting that there is the science that backs this up. So, and also it lengthens, it impacts on our DNA and the telomeres at the end of our DNA, and it having a heart-centered and heart intelligence state of mind and a state of being actually lengthens our lives because it improves the quality of our DNA. I mean, it's fascinating. So I want to teach you a little technique. We're at 10 minutes and it was supposed to only go for 10 minutes, but I want to teach you a little technique about how to drop into your heart. So if it's safe to do so, please close down your eyes. And if not, you can listen back at another time, or I might do another meditation at some point. But I'm just wanting to show you how we can drop into our heart. So get 2 fingers and put it on your heart or your hand. And I would like you to take an inhale for 4, hold your breath for 4, and an exhale for 6. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, and exhale for 6. And slowly signifying this breath system, inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale out. That signifies out to your body that you're safe to drop into your heart space. So what I want you to do is to imagine, to feel events, memories that you're grateful for. So it could be things in the last 24 hours that have happened. It could have been, the smell of that cup of coffee. It could be the sun on our faces now that the sun is returning as we go for that walk, or remembering the beautiful flowers in your neighbour's garden. It could be the smiles on your children's faces. So thinking about the events, it could be one event, it could be a whole snapshot of events that you're grateful for, that you appreciate, that make you feel good. What is it in life that you truly love? And focusing these feelings in your heart. It could be the first time for us mothers, that we met our children. But what brings us joy in life? And as you're holding those feelings and beginning to expand them out from your heart, out into, your cavity, your chest cavity, your body, running that feeling down your legs, down your arms, up into your head space. So radiating out into your whole body these feelings of love, gratitude, appreciation, joy. What is it that we care about? Now holding that, if we open up our eyes now and we hold that space, we can do this. This activates our heart intelligence. We can do this before we go and have a conversation with someone, before we pick up the phone to call customers, before we have that important conversation with our children. And I promise you, if you can embrace this feeling as much as you can throughout your day, this is where the magic and the gold happens in life. I love you, ladies. I appreciate so much that you have spent this time with me. Please comment below as to what you enjoyed about this or what you found interesting. And I'm sure as I am doing a lot of interesting things with this course, you'll be seeing more from me. Big hugs, ladies.